couple of days ago, I turned 75. Can you believe I'm still messing around with these old cars? Some people say, Ken, when are you going to retire? Well, I think retirement for me will be kind of in phases. Okay, I'm probably never going to quit until I have to quit. But it's late October, we got a nice day today, so I decided, oh, as a birthday present, I'll bring out some of my favorite old Mercedes diesels. And guess what I'm working on today? Because it's going to be getting cold here in a few weeks. The climate controls, that's right. These two station wagons have the Series 2 automatic climate control that drives us all nuts for those of us who own these Mercedes that were built mostly during the 1980s. Now that over there, White Lightning's a 240D, and we all like those kind of climate controls, don't we? Because it's just, turn the knobs as long as the fan motor's working. I've been wanting to do this for a couple years, is get into doing a series on these climate controls. And I've got a couple of these cars that are kind of acting up. This 81 wagon here is not working very well at all. And I've got another 300D bubbles in the shop that you drive it and it's inconsistent. It'll hold temperature for a while and then it'll waver and it'll move around. And I'm sure any of you have messed around with the climate controls. One where you have the buttons horizontally across the panel. You had it in the late W123s, the late R111 and the W126. They used what's called a monovalve. We all love the monovalves, right? So I'm just going to drain some of the coolant out of these two cars here and just pull the monovalves and inspect them. Okay, let's take a look at the monovalve in this 85 wagon. Look at this. Totally torn monovalve diaphragm. How many times have I seen that over the years? Okay, we got to fix this one, but Bosch monovalves are no longer available. There's some aftermarket, but so far I haven't been real pleased with the aftermarket solution. Let me share with you a little tip if you can't get these two number 10 bolts loose. Sometimes they're really stuck and the nut plate underneath tends to spin. You can still get the monovalve off even though these two screws appear to be hidden in behind. And here's what you do. You grab a hold of that rubber seal and pull it forward. Pull it right off the lip. Now you can get the screwdriver on those back two screws to get that monovalve freed from the housing. Let's take a look at the monovalve in the white wagon. Look at that. No tears. And I can tell by looking at this, the softness of the rubber, that this is probably a recent replacement. So if the monovalve is good, why is the heater in this white wagon so funky? People keep asking me, well, Kent, since you're so old now, are you going to retire? Well, you look over there, that 6.9 almost did me in. The next video, I want to tell you the story about getting that car, going out onto the islands here and pulling that out of an old barn. It had been in there almost 20 years. And I'm crawling around on my knees, getting under the car, trying to get it blocked up so the suspension would be high enough that I could get it on the trailer. And I said, hey, okay, that's probably the last one. Now, I know some of you are laughing. I thought you said that a year ago. Okay, I did, all right. I can't help myself. But I just couldn't pass up a 6.9, but I probably should have. Along with my birthday, I can celebrate the fact that I'm retiring from restoring these cars. If I get any more, they're going to be really, really nice. Even this wagon here, I call this one Piper, and that 40D that only has 129,000 miles on it, when they get this old, they need quite a bit of work. You have suspension, and you have brakes, and you have tuning that's been neglected on the diesel engines. Oh, by the way, we just changed all of the VCV valves in these three cars. And we did it in bubbles on the inside. We put rebuilt VCV valves in all these cars. And you better believe it's so subtle, but it just makes that automatic transmission shift so much better. Some of you probably wonder why there is a VCV valve on a 240D 4-speed. I'll let you answer that one. Do some research. In the next video, I'm going to give you a walk around on that 6.9 because I've decided, nope, that's it. I'm not going to restore that car. I'm not going to work on it. It just too much. So anybody out there want to pick up a great deal on a 6.9 that needs suspension restoration and some rust repair underneath, there's the deal of the century, okay?